Hey, what's going on, traders? Technically 4 for 4 today, if you want to count being above zero as a green trade. But GOTU, I ended up at break even essentially right after commissions. So, as always, let's jump right into this. We'll start with GOTU. As you can see, previous resistance down here at 4 looked like a pretty good extension. Zoom in here. You can see it was a little bit more grindy than I'd like. Ended up starting this at 423. This was based off of a daily level. You can see it right here. If we scroll back, we actually drew a second line, which was based off of this level right here. So I was really looking for this level to hold, and I was basically risking off of this 457 area, which is where I would have liked to get some nice ads. However, as you can see, this thing really became slow. The volume was still there, but it just wasn't really giving us anything fast. Never really gave us anything fast to begin with, so probably never should have been in this to begin with. Anyways, basically waiting for this to make some kind of a move. It goes through the highs, looks like it's a little bit of a fake out, hit it on the way down, and it starts to go sideways from there, starts to go higher. At this point, I'm like, I am not getting caught in one of these. We were actually probably a little bit heavier than we should have been based off of this. I think when we cut our half here, this was 300 shares, 300 shares. When we cut this half, we were actually down $30 on it. So when it started to come back down, I was like, oh, you little sucker. A little bit of a fake out breakout. We actually ended up adding 400 shares back here. So we ended up, or maybe it was 500. Yeah, it was 500 because we went from 300 to 600, back to 300 to 800. So I added 500 here. And it brought our average up a little bit, not too much. As you can see, we're still pretty close to our original average, but we have this realized loss here. So as it was coming down, we took, let's see, I think it was around 500, 600 of the 800 off, hit the 75% button. I remember that. So we're left with 200. I take 150 off here at 420, just trying to let the other 50 shares maybe ride down towards that previous resistance at 4. And as you can see, it decided to go sideways and end up curling up. So it was just using the top of this candle here as a stop. And as you can see, it did fake out a little bit through there, but ultimately it ended up going back up to the highs. What did it do after that? Out of curiosity, came all the way back down, same area, tried to go back up, and it finally did break it on this third attempt over here, fourth attempt technically. So bit of a frustrating trade, got out of it break even, so can't really complain too much. Maybe holding these initial shares a little bit longer could have turned it into a better trade. But really hated this trade pretty much a couple of minutes after I was in it. So I was just happy to try to get out of this unscathed. And after commissions were a little red, but pretty happy with getting out where we did, especially with the realized loss up there at the top. So on to LI, which actually happened to end up being our best trade of today. Previous resistance from Friday, 2275. This one actually gave us a pretty decent move. Some bigger candles. Started this one 2328. Again, always looking for those whole dollar retests after an extension away from them. But this one had other plans. Immediately started to kind of just chop back and forth. Was looking for up through 2350, a nice extension through to get an ad. However, it went through, realized it was kind of faking, hit it on the way back down 2344, just a 1-1, 200, 200. Took off 300 here, hoping to get the other 100 all the way down towards this area of that previous resistance. As you can see, it had other plans. Took 50 off at our break-even point. Let it go back through the highs. This is actually, I was in another trade at the time, so I didn't, when I hit this take half off, I wasn't expecting it to just go right to the highs. Had I seen it go right to the highs and fake out, I probably maybe add the remaining 50 back. I'm not sure. Who knows? But it came back down, pretty much took these off at break even as well, and ended up getting out of this one for a win of $30, which I think is exactly what I made on this first cover. So essentially these two ended up breaking even, and we ended up losing out a little bit on commissions, I guess. But as you can see, it did go sideways again, and it actually went back up and tested high a day again, and then ultimately gave a little bit more of a pullback. Still didn't even get down to 23, almost there, but this thing was obviously just strong. And as you can see, it did go back up to the highs after that and has been kind of hovering around up there ever since. So pretty crazy one there. NVAX, this one will look like our best trade of the day. However, I just didn't like the way that it was trading. Previous resistance all the way down here, 1190. You can see it made a little bit of a resistance area here. Intraday, maybe you can even grab one here, 12, and then we got 1220 area. And then we get a nice pop up through 1250. I pulled it up when it was on this candle. I was watching it. I was like, come on, give me that 1270, 1275 area. And it just didn't want to do it. You could see it just kept running into the wall here at 1265 area. And I decided to go ahead and just start it half size. I was going to start, I had 200 shares loaded, looking for that 1275 area. And we just couldn't get that push. So I mouse wheeled down to 100 shares and hit it on the way down, 1260. And just put the order out for 20 cents at 1240. And it did come down, I think bounced 2 cents off of us. Yeah, 1242, came back up to almost 1250, didn't quite get through, and then ultimately came down and failed us. So could have got a little bit more out of it, but really just a starter there. Happy to take a little bit more than half of that extension away from previous resistance and move on. RVIN, Rivian, this was our RIVN, sorry. Rivian, this one wasn't really the best of plays either, hence I took such small size on it. But you can see previous resistance all the way down here, 1650 from Friday. Kind of grinded its way up here. I don't know. I didn't see any of this move. I don't think it was fast, but I really wouldn't fault anyone for being in over here, I guess. Like I said, I didn't see the move, but it looks like it was pretty decent. No different really than when we got in. I mean, these candles are about the same size as this one. But just up through 18, really recognized there wasn't any kind of a real pullback, and just took smaller size in case this decided to want to actually run, and it decided to just pull back. So just took it off once I realized it didn't really want to go any lower, which was near 18. I believe I had an order out for 1802, and I think it came down to 1804. Yeah, and it missed us. So when it wouldn't come back straight back down, just took it off and moved on with their day. So nothing too special today, nothing A plus. A little bit sad about that, but got some trades in, so there is that. It'll kind of warm us up mentally for tomorrow, and that's all I got. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Always appreciate the support. If you guys do have any questions or comments, feel free to ask them down below in the comment section. You can find me in Discord or on Twitter. Those links are in the description of the video as well, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.